What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Kaibas Closet, episode number 2, the official YGOBROSTCG podcast. Today we are going to be covering multiple issues here in Yu-Gi-Oh!, some breaking news, some good stuff, and special guest Brick coming in a little bit later into the show. But the first thing that I wanted to jump head first into is, how is Locals going for you? This series is going to come out before everybody heads out to Locals, so I'm going to touch on that really quick. So how's Locals going for you? I want to know this down in the comment section below. You know I'm going to comment back to you guys. You know I'm going to get those conversations going. So with that being said, we're going to go right into it. So what I've been noticing a lot with Locals right now, we got Salamangrates, we got Altageist, we got out those back row decks. And I'm not really feeling it, you know? There's so much control happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now that I'm like, hey, who are you? Why do you get to try and control me? But you know what? That's fine. Y'all get to try that. Y'all can think you can stop the mighty Blue Eyes White Dragon 3K attack, 2,500 booty. And you know what? Yeah, they probably can, 6 times out of 10. Nah, I'm just kidding. So basically what I'm thinking is that the whole game is oriented now around control. So that means we gotta adjust and then overcome and then conquer. How are we gonna do that though? Basically, the first thing first that we're gonna do to accomplish that is I'm thinking the way to go now is Blue Eyes control. Think more in that beatdown style. Don't let your opponent do that. Don't let your opponent stop you. Don't let your opponent out-resource you. How are you going to do that? You got to run control cards. Easy control cards to tech into any Blue Eyes deck right now. Skill Drain, Mystic Mine, Amorphage Goliath. Or, if you want, run all 3. Here's why. Skill Drain is going to help you against all of those nasty large effect monster decks. It's going to help slow your opponent down. If they need those normal summon effects, it'll stop it for you. And Blue Eyes don't care. It's a deck of 3K beaters. Just make your beat stick and move along. Now, Mystic Mine, obviously, it's Swords of Revealing Light, but actually good. So what I'm thinking is with Mystic Mine is you run it as basically your option of, if you have Skill Drain and you have Mystic Mine, don't play them both at the same time and get greedy. Play one, make your opponent play awkwardly through one of them, and then once they get through the one, flip the other. They're going to exhaust resources to get rid of one and have to play incredibly awkwardly to make it work. And then once they have to get into the second one, GG no re, you're going to be able to get this, swing over, do some devastating damage, and with the new dragon support out of Chaos Impact, it is so much easier now than ever to make those nice link boards, XYZ boards. It's awesome, it's amazing. Love me some good dragon support. So that's my hot take if you're taking Blue Eyes to Locals. Now, if you're not taking Blue Eyes to Locals and you're running basically anything else, we're going to keep it generic. Be ready to play against your Altergeist, your Guru Controls, your Salamangrates. You know, be ready for all those things. All right, now we are going to head to the phones and we are going to call up Brad the Brick and bring in his kind of insights on some things going on in the meta. Talk to him about Chaos Impact. Talk to him about the good old, 6-Sam Link monster. So we'll wait to see. Brad, Brick, you're on with Kaibas Closet. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. Great to hear from you. Welcome to the official second episode of our official YGOBROSTCG podcast, Kaibas Closet.
Awesome.
Nice. All right, so you're excited. Are you not?
I am excited.
All right. So, real quick, if the viewers don't know yet, I mean, it's been all over Facebook, it's been all over everything, break down what getting the 6 Samurai Link confirmed, and not only confirmed, but as a promo in a special edition.
I think it's awesome that we're getting it this way, rather than in a box set with a lower chance to pull it if it was an ultra rare or even secret. So I like the fact they're doing it as a promo, especially something that's a card that we've been waiting for to get out of the Link packs for quite some time now.
Yeah. It was in Link Vrains Pack 2, if I remember right.
And I don't even think we've gotten all of Link Vrains Pack 1 yet. So.
Oh, no, by no means. I mean, that was in 100, those are 100 card Link sets.
Yeah.
So, what is this card, what is this going to bring to your 6-Sam deck? Like, what can people expect from this card? Why should they be excited? Why should they be, looking forward to buying Chaos Impact Special Edition when the set literally drops tomorrow? Or today, I guess.
Today, yeah. So, I think that the fact that this card, not only my 6 Samurai deck, but every 6 Samurai deck is going to be abusing this card just due to the fact that it searches Gateway. And 6 Sam players have wanted Gateway to come back to 3 forever. And it would be so hard to put it at 3 because it is such a good card. It's not hard once per turn. I mean, there's just so much utility in it. But this new Link monster essentially acts as another Gateway. Because it has a similar effect when you summon a 6 Samurai monster, it gets Bushido counters too. So you can abuse it and Gateway the same way. And just keep spamming monsters to the field.
Okay, so do you think this is going to be... is this the card that makes 6 Samurai competitive again?
I think so. Because due to the fact that it searches Gateway. Because people are probably going to be playing 2 or 3 of this thing in their extra deck, which is almost like playing several Gateways. And I've seen OTK builds with this guy in there. Granted, I think Firewall was still around, but I'm sure somebody is going to come up with some janky OTK abusing this card in Gateway.
Okay, do you think that other decks will be able to abuse a 6 Samurai engine using this now Link monster, now that you have an ability to search Gateway?
I don't think so, and the reason being is the 6 Samurai engine is too big of an engine just to splash in any deck. I mean, Dangers were easy because it was 9 cards, Sky Striker's easy because it's like 6 or 7, but the 6 Samurais, you need the Gateway, you need several the Kizans, the Reds and Blues. I think it's a much bigger engine, and it's going to be harder to splash into other decks. And the Link monster specifically requires 6 Samurai monsters. So you're going to have to play enough to get that thing out, and then have enough left over to abuse it.
So as a 6 Samurai fan, how do you feel knowing that the Link monsters materials are 6 Sam monsters and they didn't just go like 2 warriors?
I'm glad they did, because if it was just 2 warriors, then that's something that's more abusable, because you can play, it would basically in a soul dot deck again. You summon it, you search Gateway, and then you have an easier time with the engine. It's not as great, but it's less monsters that you have to play.
Okay, so do you think we're still going to be seeing like a Soul Day and those kind of I guess gimmick extension Link monsters that were so popular just like 2 formats ago? Do you think we're going to see those in 6 Samurai decks still, or do you think with this new official Link monster it's just going to be completely unnecessary?
I think Isolde will still be played, but I think it'll be a one-of, and I think it'll be a secondary thing, just to kind of open up space to get one of your generals off the field, to get more space. So I think Isolde will be a way to kind of get back to generic Link plays after you use the Link 6 Samurai.
Okay, so I guess then if Isolde is still being played, then how many equip spells are we talking? And which equip spells can you name, even if it's just off the top of your head?
I like 4, but I have seen a lot of people play 5. Phoenix
5?
is always in there. Yeah, I have seen people play 5 just in case they open one in their hand.
Fair enough.
Phoenix Blade will probably be in there. Living Fossil is always a good one because it is a Monster Reborn equip spell. You have a Different Dimension Burial, I believe it is. Different Dimension Burial. I like playing Psychic Blade and Moon Mirror Shield in mine just because they are cards, if you do draw them, they are cards that can boost your opponent's attack, or your card's attack monsters. So those are my preferences, but I think 4 or 5, you'll definitely be seeing Living Fossil, Different Dimension Burial, and Phoenix Blade in there.
Okay. So the irony, I guess, what I'm hearing with Isolde is you're running an extra equip spell in case you open an equip spell, but by running an extra one, you increase your odds to open said equip spells.
Yeah, and who knows, with the fact that Isolde's not going to be relied upon as much, you can probably drop it down to 4, maybe even 3, because the way I've seen this guy used and abused is just by special summoning a red or blue over and over and over and taking burn damage, basically. So I think that it could be dropped down to 3, and maybe just 4 maximum.
Yeah. And I don't know if you have access to it at the moment, but if you get a chance, pull up that Link Monster, for us, and I'll have you read that effect once you get it. So while you're doing that, I want you to think of this question real quick.
All right.
Are you running Desires in a 6-Sam deck, and if so, how many copies?
I actually don't think I'm playing Desires in my 6-Sam deck. And the reason is that all the cards really flow together, and so they're all kind of necessary. So there are pieces in there that if you banish it, you're done. And especially with Gateway at 1, banishing that would be a huge, huge bummer. So I think Desires is a hard card to play in a 6 Samurai deck with Gateway at 1.
Okay, now you do have access to cards like Reinforcements of the Army, Triple Shen Smoke Signal,
Yep.
all of those searchability cards that kind of. Do you think you're basically running 4 Reinforcements of the Army. I mean, we're not counting. We're not counting like Gateway's abilities or any of the other 6 Sam abilities.
Yeah. The only bad thing with Smoke Signal, it has to be 3 or lower, or actually it might just be a level 3, which isn't a big deal because you want to get your level 3 Kageki to get your special summon off after you normal summon him. So that's not a big deal, but yes, you are essentially playing 4 Rotas.
Okay, perfect. So, do you think if Gateway's at 3 though, do you run Desires?
Yes, if Gateway's at 3, I think you can play 1 or 2 copies of Desires safely.
Okay. Do you have that card pulled up?
Yep, I do. I have the definition, or I have the effect and everything. So it's 2 warrior monsters, including a 6 samurai monster. So it says, if this card is link summoned, you can discard 1 card, add 1 card that has an effect that places Bushido counters from your deck to your hand. So obviously, that says discard a card and search Gateway. 6 samurai players rejoice. And it says you can only use this effect of Great General of the 6 samurai once per turn. Its second effect, each time a 6 samurai monster is normal or special summoned to a zone this card points to, place 1 Bushido counter on this card. This card gains 100 attack for each Bushido counter on your field. Not on the card, on the field.
And what's the base attack on this guy?
1,000. So he's not a big monster, but when he is summoned, you search Gateway, you activate it right away, and if you can special summon a couple 6 samurai monsters, you're going to add attack points to this thing really quick.
Yeah. So if I heard that right, is that first effect to search Gateway, basically the Bushido counter card?
Yep.
Was that a soft once per turn, meaning that if I summoned a second or third copy, I could reactivate that effect?
No. That's a hard once per turn.
Okay.
If that was a soft once per turn, oh lord. No. But you do have to discard a card, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because Gateway can add cards from your graveyard to your hand. So you can get some recursion off of what you discard.
Yeah.
And this is also a deck that you potentially could play Malicious in as well.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Special summons to get warriors on the field if you want to make it a sold play or something. So if you happen to have Malicious, ditch it, get your Gateway, and then you have the opportunity to make more plays with that.
So this seems like a perfect time to segue a little bit.
All right.
So would you consider, or do you think it'd even be possible to do some form of a hero 6 Sam hybrid deck, like a really heavy warrior based deck? I guess is what it would be.
It would be very hard, and the reason being is that the new hero support, the Vision heroes, especially Ferris and Increase, set a restriction that if you use either of their effects, you can only summon hero monsters from the extra deck. So it puts a real restriction on it. And then it also has the restriction with the Link monster, Cross Crusader, that allows you to only summon hero monsters as well. So it's a really hard thing to do, and especially with heroes abusing Fusion Destiny. The spell card, basically you summon Dystopia and burn your opponent right away for 1,600 points. That card sets a limit of dark hero monsters only. So it's really, the heroes have become the new Dark Warrior deck. that it's not a permanent dark restriction, but it can get there if you get that opening play with Fusion Destiny.
Okay. So what do you see then? So if heroes are this new Dark Warrior deck, give me an example. What is if I'm playing heroes, what are the like obvious 3-ofs that I need in my deck in terms of monsters?
Triple Ferris, triple Stratos, triple Malicious, and triple Vion, I would say, are big 3, or the 4 monsters that should be automatic 3-ofs.
Is Malicious back at 2 or 3?
Sorry, which one?
Malicious is back at 3, right?
Yeah, 3 Malicious.
Okay, I didn't know if I heard you say that or not, but...
Yeah, 3 Malicious. And then Shadow Mist can be at 2. Vision Hero Increase, you only need 2 of him, because you're just going to bring him out with Ferris anyway, so...
Yeah. I
think there's 4 mandatory 3-ofs, and then the others are kind of 2-ofs.
Okay, so how do you feel then about that short print of the new Fusion monster?
Malicious Bane, that's insane. Same with the Dusted Gold. Both of those cards are probably the reason that heroes are going to be tier 1.5, tier 1 category. The only threat to heroes really is the Nibiru threat, because heroes will special summon 8 times in a turn and make this giant board on you to go for an OTK. So they are going second deck. If they do go first, they'll probably make 3 or 4 special summons and have a Dark Law on you, just to be conservative, watch out for the Nibiru and everything. But with the new short prints, if you want to spend $80 each to get those, you're going to have a pretty solid deck.
Yeah, so I guess that's the problem, is there really, because of those short prints, is budget heroes for a competitive budget hero deck, is that even an option?
I mean, it is. Vision Hero Trinity still being boosted to 5k and being able to attack monsters 3 times is still really good. I even tried to build where I played Equimax in the extra deck and kind of waited for a second turn to make him, once the hero restriction was lifted, and then throw a 5k Trinity underneath him, so Equimax was at 7,000 at least. So there's a lot of things that can be played with the heroes that can make that budget-friendly deck very competitive.
Yeah, so it just seems like the goal is to kind of make that OTK. Now, there's a lot of, I guess, controversy with heroes right now that people are saying it's not worth the risk of the glass cannon, which is kind of a running theme for a lot of heavier combo variant decks.
Ever since I've rebuilt the heroes with the new Vision heroes, I have not had a problem with it being a glass cannon deck. It seems like if you open a Stratos or a Rhoda, you're good to go, because Stratos will just immediately search Ferris when you summon it, barring an Ash Blossom or something. But I haven't seen that glass cannoniness to the heroes as of yet.
Okay, so do you have are we officially away from a heavy masked hero theme in the extra deck?
It depends. I mean, I think Dark Law is standard. Anki is standard just for battle phase damage, search the mass change, and then bring Dark Law out for some more damage. So those 2 you definitely can be playing. And then Masked Hero Diane, which is the Earth one, most people play in order to get Solid Soldier to the graveyard to get his effect to special summon another hero back. In which Solid Soldier is another card that's probably a 3-of in the deck too. So there's 5 3-of hero monsters that are probably mandatory. But as far as the double Dark Laws, the Kogas, the Divine Winds, I forget the Waterboard, Acid, I don't think the Master Heroes are as heavy as they used to be. I think 3, maybe 4 Master Heroes max will do the job.
Yeah. Now, we talked about heroes being a going second deck. So you tell me, if you have access to every card on the planet, or if you have access to what you need for a competitive tournament right now, you build competitive heroes, you've got all the money cards in it. Are you main decking Super Poly or Nibiru in your main deck? And if you
Super Poly is mained in my current build. I'm maining 2 copies of it, just because it's so easy to use. I believe in my extra deck I do have Starving Venom Fusion Dragon in there, as well as Dagos Depelia, just because they're all dark monsters, and as soon as my opponent brings out some dark monster, I'd use it to my advantage, and I end their turn, basically. But Super Poly is a great card, especially even on your turn. If you have it, to be able to fusion summon uninterruptedly is a great thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's so powerful, you even made up a word to describe it. So...
Yeah, the one thing I wish is Bion, since a polymerization card, not specifically polymerization, a polymerization card, and that would break the deck. But
yeah. Well, there is that Link monster that was announced that can search Super Poly.
Really? Oh yeah. Was it the Predaplant monster?
I think it's the Predaplant Link monster. You pay like 2,000 life points and you can search like any fusion card. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder, are its material specific or is it generic?
It's if I had to take a wild guess because of the I don't have it in front of me,
Okay.
right now. But if I had to take a wild guess, it's probably like because of the hype. It's probably like 2 dark monsters.
Okay, yeah, I saw it, and I think I was reading something about there was a limitation on it, whether it was you couldn't use that card this turn, or you can only fusion summon for the rest of the turn, or something. There was some limitation on there. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't use the card this turn, then that pretty much just makes it a Super Poly search. Like you're not gonna play the card.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Which,
you're not gonna summon the monster unless you're making
use
Super
Poly
Poly.
on your opponent's turn, so it might not be all bad, depending on what the situation is. But having a heavy restriction in the hero deck that already has restrictions isn't the best.
Okay, so you're in a going second OTK deck. So we already said you're maining the Super Polys. How many are you maining? 2, 3?
I have 2 in there right now. I don't have a third, but I think 2 is plenty. Just because you do get, you are able to search regular polymerization with Vion. So I don't think 3 is necessary. And the deck's already pretty full as is, so unless you want to play more than 40 cards. But I think 2 is just fine.
Are there any fusion monsters from the hero variant that you can get off of Super Poly using your opponent's monsters and it's not a mirror match?
Using off my opponent's monsters?
It's not a mirror match for obvious reasons.
I think there is one fusion monster. His materials are a Destiny hero and a Dark monster, I believe. So he can be summoned using one of your hero monsters and a Dark monster your opponent summons. His effects aren't that great, but it would just be a way to kind of get something off your opponent's board.
Okay, so, and this might just be a call for your locals, but why no Muddy Mud Dragon?
I think I had it in there, but it's materials of a different attribute and a different...
It's same attribute, different type.
Same attribute, different type?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's playable, but I do see a lot of decks that have a lot of the same attribute, but not necessarily always a different type. You have your Crusadia monsters, but they're all light monsters, but they all have different types and everything, and Crusadia is kind of a really splashable engine in a lot of decks now. So there are decks floating out there that it wouldn't really do much against. So it's
but I feel like against Crusadia though, that's where like your Starving Venom comes into play because you know they're gonna just try to make that big negation board and you can just wipe it with Super Poly.
It would be good against Salamangreats. It'd be good against Thunder Dragons unless they threw a Titan on field, and then that's kind of takes away your Muddy Mud Dragon. But with the new format, I think it'll be interesting to kind of see once we get a little more in what decks kind of rise to the top. And that might change the play of Muddy Mud Dragon.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if anybody at your locals does, but an interesting thing that I don't know if a lot of people are thinking of right now is Muddy Mud Dragon could actually be the best Super Poly target for the Mech Knight matchup. And the reasoning because they're all lights, but their type changes based on the Mech Knight that's being summoned.
What do you mean? All the Mech Knights are psychic types, I believe.
That's what you, not actually, the Link monsters are different, and I want to say all of the main deck ones are still psychics, but I'm pretty sure the Link monsters are not.
Yeah, the normal one that nobody plays is a warrior, but he doesn't really matter, I guess.
Yeah, but anyways, Money Mud Dragon against the Mech Knight matchup can be pretty big.
Mhm.
I think
Quite honestly, with Money Mud Dragon being level 4, you could honestly play instant fusions in a hero deck too, and kind of see what other plays you can make, because he can change his attribute. So if you had a Super Poly or an instant fusion, whatever, you could try to get into like a Dragos Depelia or something like that to try to have some interruption during your opponent's turn by placing Predator counters or something like that.
True.
It also does give you access to other to rank 4s as well. So
yeah, just a free level 4. Nobody's gonna complain about it.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the big thing right now. So what would you say? What's your advice then for the brand new hero player?
The brand new hero player, I would say start budget. I mean, I think you can get the deck for under $60. I don't know exact prices, but you can get it all fairly cheap. If you want to spend $160 for the other 2 cards, be my guest, but I think the budget variant is still a competitive variant.
Okay, so we're gonna shift gears again a little bit here. Chaos Impact. If you have an OTS drops today. If you don't, then it hits retail shelves tomorrow, Saturday the 26th, or today if you're listening before you head to locals at home. What is your big card? What is your must buy out of Chaos Impact if you have one?
Ooh, I don't know. I did not buy any of the Chaos Impact sets, so I'm not quite sure. I know Firewall Dark Fluid Dragon being the first Link 5 is a really interesting card. I think that Salamangreat players will probably want that because they could potentially make that thing abusable. I know Salamangreat players are going to be chasing their Link 4. That's another good card. But so far, what I have seen, it's got to be IP Masquerena.
Yeah. Now, in the first episode of the podcast, we talked about buy, sell, or trade. Are you buying IP Masquerena at the price tag it's at? So at $30 a single right now. Are you buying it at $30?
Right now, probably not. Just because the set just dropped. So, and with it, the official set dropping today or tomorrow, I think that's the pre-release price. So, I'd be interested to see in another week what happens to its price. I don't know if it got short printed or anything, but if you're a Salamangreat player, you're probably going to buy it for the $30 right now, just in case it does skyrocket. But for everybody else, I think it's a safe card to wait on.
Yeah, I know a lot of Thunder Dragon decks are definitely very interested in her.
I've seen that too.
That's from what I've been seeing. Okay, then, so do you think if you pulled... So let's say if you pulled it at your sneak peek, I mean, we're just talking the base rarity. If you pulled the prismatic thing, that's worth like $200 to $300. Just sell it and buy some freaking boxes.
Or sell it and buy 5 copies of the ultra rare.
Right, like just do yourself a favor, sell the super expensive copy, and finish getting the staple cards you need. Buy your impermanences that have buy your Phantasmes. If you pull the $300 Masquerine, buy Phantasme, because Lord knows that card needs a reprint.
Unless you a rarity chaser like you are, I would drop that thing fast.
Oh, dude, there is nothing that has been outside of Appaloosa. There's nothing in that rarity that I want.
Fair enough.
But okay, it's a little off track here, but that's fine.
Just a little bit.
A little bit, it's fine. We're officially 30 minutes into episode 2 here. So, what is again? So if this is your first, this is like the worst segue I've ever done. If this is your your time to get into Yu-Gi-Oh, if this is this, the time that you're choosing to really dive in.
Yeah.
What deck, or what are the things to expect? if you're a new player, what are some things to expect so you're not caught off guard and maybe the idea of playing in the current, format is ruined? Because we see that so many times with new players is they get excited to come back to the game, and when they come to a tournament or they hang out with some buddies who've been playing and they realize that it's not just, summon Thunder King Ryo, set 4 cards pass, right?
Right.
It's not that anymore. So what is the suggestions? What's the advice then for the new player who's just getting in to not be discouraged, or maybe even some tips to to move forward? Don't be afraid to take that next step. What is it?
I would say expect your combo dot decks. Thunder Dragons gonna do the same thing every time. Summon 3 Colossus, get one of them off board to make a Titan. Expect your Salamangrates. They have the same first 2-3 card play. Make Sunlight Wolf and then set a Rage or a Roar. I don't know how that's going to change with Masquerena, but as far as the older format pre-Chaos Impact, that was the thing. So be aware of those kind of things. And really just, I would say, don't get discouraged. If you do get combo dot decked by somebody, it's not a reason to give up.
Yeah, and in episode 1, we talked about the fact that Nibiru is everywhere. I mean, if you are not main decking 3 of Nibiru or 3 Super Poly, you're probably playing Magic the Gathering, because that is Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Like, right. Everybody is playing 3 of one of those, and if they're not playing, if they're playing 3 of one in the main, they probably got 3 of the other in the side deck. Like, that's just how hateful the format is to heavy special summoning. So
yeah, and I'm going to say it now, because I think it's something that is going to become more and more relevant. At our locals here, there's a guy that has a Crusadia deck that is very good. There's some other spellcaster monsters that he has in there, but he also plays Witch of the Black Forest. The reason this card is good is because it is able to search Nibiru when it leaves the field. It searches a monster with 1,500 or less defense, and Nibiru fits that bill. So I think this deck is going to be something that is going to show up more. The fact that they can make an Abramax with a Nibiru in hand and just pass and sit there and watch you squirm to try to deal with it. Because to make Borreload, you're going to need at least 5 summons. And as soon as that guy hits the field, boom, Nibiru.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Now, you've mentioned this guy a couple times before. You should definitely. I'd love to bring him on to the podcast if he has time at some point. So, yeah. Or maybe if you could.
Hopefully, I'm gonna get a deck profile from him tomorrow with locals if he's there, and get that up on the channel for everybody. Because I played against this deck, I saw this, and I was just like, whoa, that's insane. It basically stops all your combo dot decks, and it's something that's so simple to do. It's not even hard to make this combo happen.
Yeah, so it's definitely insane. Here, Brad, I'm going to pause the cast real quick for a second. All right, so do you think, though, with Nibiru... so you can search him with Witch of the Black Forest, obviously, but, Chaos Impact literally released an XYZ monster that searches him.
It did? I didn't even know about it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a rank 4, generic, 2 level 4s, detached, search a rock monster.
Oh! Isn't that lovely?
Nibiru, like I said, Nibiru is a problem. Like, it's not going away. Unless they decide to ban the reason the Megatens sold. Do you really think that it's going to be, expect to be Nibiru'd a lot? Expect it, to happen more than you want? Be thankful when it doesn't happen?
I think so. There are some decks that probably won't be able to take abuse of that searching ability. That doesn't mean they don't have the Nibiru. But I think Break My Board Nibiru is going to be kind of the new thing going forward, especially if it is searchable with this rank 4 or Witch of the Black Forest and things like that. So definitely, when you're making your plays, keep track of what your opponent has done, what they've added to their hand, how many cards they have, what they started with, and definitely know at least over half of your opponent's hand, or have an idea of what might be there. Because if you overextend and make this board, and they drop a Nibiru on you, you're going to be salty.
Yeah. And do you think it's I guess the best way to put this is, do you think it's worth is negating the search for the Nibiru? Like, are you holding your Ash Blossom for this?
It depends on the deck.
If you're playing somebody that you know has it, you know that they have the ability to either Witch of the Black Forest search it or drop the XYZ monster. You know they have the ability to it. You know that they can make it. But let's say like, for example, let's just say hypothetically, a Salamangreat deck can make this XYZ monster.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ash Blossom in your hand. They win the dice roll. They go first.
Yeah.
Their first play out the gate, Signet Mining. You know they can. You know at some point in their turn they're gonna. Let's just say you've been playing this guy for a bunch of times. You know that they can make the rank 4 on their turn. So basically, you are now posed. Are you negating Signet Mining or are you negating the Nibiru search?
I think you hold the Ash on the Signet Mining because they still have a lot to do in order to get to that Nibiru search because they're not summoning rank 4s or level 4s for the normal summon. They're using Mirage Dahlia to bring out Jack Jaguar, which I think actually Mirage Dahlia puts a restriction on being only able to summon fire monsters, I think. But at that point, if you know they made a Mirage Dahlia and they're going for something, I would hit that Mirage Dahlia with the Ash Blossom, just not even let them get a level 4 on the field. But with other decks like Witch of the Black Forest, or even if they do get the XCs on board, I think you have to hit it because Nibiru is just going to ruin your day. The fear of Nibiru in this format is going to be real.
Yeah. Do you think Konami messed up with Nibiru?
Oh, jeez. I think they messed up with making him a quick effect. If he was more like Sphere Mode, Lava Golem, Kaijus, I think it would be better. But the fact that he's a quick effect, I think, puts a potential target on his back to get hit on a ban list. Maybe not right away, but at some point down the line, maybe in March or April after we get another ban list.
Okay. So, real quick then, we're going to wrap up the cast here in a few minutes. What do you expect then? I'm going to redo this question, and we'll save the other one for another day. You're at a competitive tournament.
Yep.
How heavily are you playing with Nibiru in mind?
I would say depending on what deck I'm playing. If I'm playing ABCs,
let's just say it's in general. Like
in general, I think Nibiru's got to be on your mind. Because there are a lot of decks that use up too many resources in their first turn to try to create a board lock to just make their opponent scoop, and Nibiru is the counter for that. So I think if you're a Thunder Dragon player, you have to be conscious of Nibiru, because if you lose both your Colossus and your Titan, you're done. If you're a Salamangreat player and you lose your Sunlight Wolf and your other forms of negation are kind of left useless, you lose. So I think that Nibiru does have to be on everybody's mind in this format.
Yeah. With Nibiru at 3, can Soul Charge come back to 1?
Soul Charge? Ooh.
Because if you Soul Charge for 5, that can immediately get super poly, or not. Well, you could super poly technically, a couple of the monsters, but that's immediately Nibiru'd, or it could be potentially.
Yeah, my only thing would be a question I would have with Soul Charge. Does it act similarly to a pendulum summon, where summoning 5 monsters?
So with Nibiru, it counts. Nibiru himself counts number of monsters summoned, not the mechanic.
Summon type.
Yeah.
So a pendulum summon for 5 is still 5 monsters.
Yes.
Okay. So with that in mind, I think Soul Charge probably could come back to 1, because one, like you said, Nibiru is out there. It's a good counter for it. And also with the new time rules, if you want to risk paying 5,000 life points and getting Nibiru, I'm all for that. I think Soul Charge could come back to 1 with Nibiru at 3.
A lot of people on the channel who watch the channel at YGOBROSTCG, you can also follow us on Facebook at YGOBROSTCG, really want Dark Matter back. And I've been going back and forth on this a lot lately, especially with Nebula and Galaxy Dragon just releasing. Do you think Dark Matter could come back to 1?
Probably. I know the big reason Dark Matter was banned was because of Agripane and the Guard Dragon plays, and creating that board lock with Arcbraid Dragon. But now with Agripane banned, I think Dark Matter Dragon could come back to 1.
Okay. Any ban list wish lists?
Ban list wish lists. Colossus, maybe. Colossus to 1.
Really? I think Titan's worse.
Yeah, but if you have 1 Colossus, you're not making Titan. I mean, you're going to use your only Colossus to make Titan. I don't see that happening. I think you're going to leave that Surge Negation on board.
Yeah. For me, I'd like to see... This is a reach. I don't think Konami would do this, but I think you could ban Spinny.
Yeah, I mean, Salamangreats have been hit so much so hard, and they're still kind of...
Well, what, they've been hit, what, Lady Debug and Gazelle?
Well, they also hit Circle to 1.
Oh, that's true.
As well. So, you took away your other 2 copies of Signet Mining, basically. But Spinny banned, maybe. Spinny to 1, I think would also be okay.
But, I mean, they only need the 1, though. So, it's kind of like the Rat PR logic of you only really needed, like, it wasn't... Until they finally just axed it to the point to where it wasn't usable, it was still usable and abusable.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to use that Gazelle over and over more than they're going to use that Spinny, I think. And realistically, Salamangreats are only going to use it once.
Yeah, that's why I said I think you have to ban it or you hit something else.
Yeah.
This is probably a reach, is I think you can bring the Trickstar stuff back. I think it's just completely off. Like, I don't see... You banned the Nightmare cards. Like, you banned Mermaid. That was... I mean, Trickstars were being abused to make Nightmare Mermaid in Orchest, which is frustrating. So I think Trickstars can come back. People probably don't want to hear that, but, I mean... It is a solid...
Trickstars coming back. The last few formats, before the ban, they weren't doing much on their own. Like you said, they were just being abused by Nightmares.
I think they're probably... I think Trickstars could come back and be an immediate Tier 2, Tier 3 contender.
Yeah. I agree with that. And especially if Licorice or Candina's on board with a lot of Sky Strikers. Sky Striker is still kind of relevant, even with Widow Anchor at 1. But I think it will become a good rogue deck to watch out for.
Yeah. So... Final thoughts, and you said you don't know a whole lot about Chaos Impact, so this might be happy news for you. Have you seen the new Gizmek Super Rare out of Chaos Impact, and if so, how hyped are you?
I saw it. I don't remember what it does.
It is basically an extra free normal summon, and it's a level 5 light machine.
Then I might be excited about it. Is it the you have to tribute it to normal summon though?
So basically, you have to tribute one normal summoned monster, and then you summon it, and then you can immediately normal summon again after the effect resolves, and then it locks you into the type of. Basically, it locks you into whatever you summon. So if, in your case, you run if you're running it in ABC, all light machines.
Yeah.
It's gonna lock you into light machines for.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, because now that because with the Cyber Dragon Link monster, you're able to kind of get around things, and I think it locks you into those after the fact. So you could still make like enough Link arrows beforehand, and then go into it.
Does the Gizmic have a special summoning condition from the hand, or you just have to summon it normally?
I believe if that is its special summon, like it's a tribute for the cost of a special summon, and then if you if you tribute summon him, like for example, if you were to like have him in hand.
If you summon him by his own effect, you get an additional normal summon.
No, if you summon him through his effect, you gain like 2,050 life points, which is equivalent to his attack.
Okay.
But no, he has the special summon ability is to give you the extra normal, and it gives you the level 5 light machine. So, yeah. I mean, which is insane. I mean, this card is going to be crazy in Cyber Dragons, and that's actually going to be a hot topic in the next episode. So, Brad,
it's another material for Infinity.
Yeah, and Infinity was already easy to summon.
Yep.
I mean, you can literally get away with special Cyber Dragon, tribute the Cyber Dragon. Oh no, because that's be normal summon, so you can't do that. I am wrong. But basically, it's just really easy. Like
you can special out Napster and then tribute it for Gizmek.
No, it has to be a normal summon monster.
Oh, okay, you're right. You can normal summon Napster.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. But anyways, Brad, thank you so much for joining episode 2 of Kaibas Closet. We look forward to seeing those deck lists and everything else kind of moving forward in the upcoming few days. If you're listening to the podcast, make sure to stay tuned. Episode 3 comes out in the next couple days. We don't have a set schedule on podcast uploads, but again, we are working on finding these podcasts on anywhere you listen to podcasts. Right now available on Libsyn, and you can listen to it on YouTube. We're working on getting it on Google Podcast and Spotify. Again, this is at YGOBROSTCG, Kaibas Closet. Find us on Facebook, YGOBROSTCG, YouTube, YGOBROSTCG, and you guessed it, anywhere you want to watch us, you basically can watch us or listen to us at this point. The podcast is to bring you YGO Bros on the go. Find the links on the YouTube. Find the links on the Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for listening. You can join us on the Patreon, which is $1 a month. It helps make all this happen. I mean, we get the Patreons help. Brad, would you agree the Patreons help?
I totally agree. The patrons we have, our equipment has gotten a lot better. So I would say that.
Yeah, and we're able to do these things. We're able to take the time to commit more resources to you guys. So again, thank you so much for listening to episode 2 of Kaibas Closet. Stay tuned for more. Episode 3, we're going to be talking about the Cyber Dragons. Are they finally going to make their Tier 1 comeback? That is going to be the hot topic for episode 3. If you want to see more interesting hot topics, or you want to listen to a viewer-submitted topic, make sure to drop that into the comment section below if you are watching on YouTube. If not, message us on Facebook at YGOBROSTCG. Thank you again so much for watching. This is Forrest and Brad from Kaibas Closet.
It's time to do